We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
Okay, you ready? Open wide!
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and, of course, SideScrollersPodcast.com, which we will be there very shortly, but I messed it up today, but that's okay. We'll get on that. Hello, everybody. Great to see you. Happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, it's Thursday today. We are over the hump. We are here, coasting on into the weekend, finishing strong as we're almost there. Good to see everybody. Glad you're here. Hello, Blabs. Great to see you.
Oh, hi. I'm just working on locals. Please be patient.
I got it. I already got it. We're good. We good.
Well, never mind then.
Yeah. How's everything going?
Oh, it's going good.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Better than bad.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently it's not working. We'll figure it out. You go crazy, Blabs. Go
I
crazy.
just deleted the thing. Oh, my Craig. Don't tell me you got it if you don't got it.
We're a professional show here, folks. Professional show, all right? Speaking of extreme professionalism, joining us today, the crazy foxu lady with the jiggles, Kirsche. How are you?
Hello. Hello. Very professional. The scuff is just part of the show.
I agree. I think that's why people tune in. Look, sometimes people have mistakes. Sometimes people forget to do things, and you know what? We embrace that, and that's totally
on my stream. People get excited when I have to call for tech support. They're like, "Finally, we get to hear our Oshi Nimothy, the tech support man."
Oshi Nimothy. What's going on? What do you know what that is? What is?
Oshi is like, oh, this is the content creator that I love a lot. You know, this is my Oshi. This is who I love and I want to support and push in the algorithm. Oh, and then Nim or Nimothy is my head moderator and who we always call when we have a tech support issue.
Mods are the best. They truly are.
That's great. They're the best Unix. I love them.
Well, we're glad you're here, and thank you to all who provide tech support for Kirsche, which is great. We got a lot going on today, guys. The world is burning, while also healing. I would say we're burning down the government of the United States one day at a time, which is it fun to watch. We have a lot to talk about, including 80s movies being more or less rewritten 1984 style, which we'll get to that.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all. We have some Nintendo stuff. We got some more layoffs in the video game space. You know, there's going to be layoffs. If it's a day ending in a Y, someone's getting fired.
I don't know whether to cheer or not yet. We'll have to see.
Yes. Then, of course, we do have EA and their CEO being an absolute fucking imbecile. We're going to get to that a little bit. And, of course, our lead story today will be talking about all this USAID stuff and how it ties into video games, because it's amazing how that all ties in. Yeah,
it's a bit of a crazy amount of information the past few days.
It has been a ridiculous info dump, to say the least. But let's start off today with a little bit of today in video game history. Blaz, what do we have to start off with?
Perfect timing. I just got locals back up and everything.
Oh, good.
Hello, locals. Okay, today is February 6th, which means Street Fighter II: The World Warrior was released in Japan in 1991. You have The Sims: The Story was released in 2007. And then you have X-Blades that was released on the PlayStation 3 back in 2009. And Craig's doing some weird dance. I don't know why.
Really like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Listen, today, 34 years ago, today was the day that video games changed for the better. When Street Fighter II: The World Warrior was released. A game that would change not just the arcade scene, but video games as a whole. It was Fortnite before Fortnite. It was Minecraft before Minecraft. Street Fighter II, the god released.
The cultural phenomenon.
Absolutely. It was. I mean, listen. How many things do you think that we would like? We got fireballs. We got Hadoukens. We got Chun-Li, for God's sakes, from Street Fighter 2. The amount of things that came from this game. Listen, this is the day that, like, I would say, turned me into a video gamer. Someone who loved video games. I like games, but I love Street Fighter, and Street Fighter 2 was that game for me. And I don't know. I mean, just watch this intro. My God.
That's illegal.
Let's go! Oh, so good.
It does have some nice music.
Oh, it does. And you know what? Anybody who grew up in the 90s would be able to tell you, like, pretty much this. This is the demo for it. If you went into an arcade, you would hear this. Once it goes into this demo, you're gonna hear these fucking elephants right here. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good, and it, like, that to me is straight nostalgia. Oh, it's unbelievable.
I've never seen the X-Blades game, but I feel like if I had seen that in stores in 2009, I absolutely would have bought it. Like, the cover is just aesthetically, I would have been like, I'm interested. Give me that game.
I want that. Pull that up again real quick, Blabs. So the X-Blades game, the Today in Gaming History. Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay. Nice.
It just looks very stereotypical, like, JRPG cover, and so my young ass would have been like, yeah, give me that. I want to try it.
Let's go. Well, some other noticeable games that were released today in video game history. You know what? Fuck it. It doesn't matter. Street Fighter 2 came out 34 years ago. Let's stink and go. Nothing else matters. Nothing. It's ridiculous. I would love to hear y'all's Street Fighter 2 memories, chat, because I don't know, that to me, that was the game changer. And, like, talk about games that were so influential in your life. That was the game. What about, like, Kirsche, did you have a game that was super influential to you that kind of changed the way you look at video games?
Honestly, probably Final Fantasy VII, because prior to Final Fantasy VII, I had only played, like, pick 'em up, put 'em down games, kind of like Croc and Gex and Gran Turismo. I don't remember what fighting games I played, because I played some fighting games both on, like, PS1 and whatever Sega console was out in, like, mid-90s. But I just... Final Fantasy VII was, like, the first real, I guess, like, long, like, you save your game and you go back to it and, like, the story continues kind of thing that I played. I mean, like, Pokemon, I guess, counts, but Final Fantasy VII was, like, less choose your own adventure and more you were on a treadmill following the story. And so that kind of, like, really set in stone the kind of games that I would buy from that point forward.
I remember going to my buddy's house, and he had the PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy VII, and I remember seeing a cutscene in that video game and being like, they can do that graphics?
That was Kingdom Hearts. When I saw the water, I was like, it looks like water in real life. It looks better than water in real life.
Right. They can make graphics that good? What? It was
and
so
I was like,
shocking.
I'm so excited for the future. I can't wait to see where we go graphically. And then we kind of plateaued years ago, and now everything is like either I want to be pixel art from decades ago, or nothing looks as good as Black Desert.
Right. Oh my God, it's so fun to just think about. And, like, once again, I remember it was at Andy. That was his name, Andy's house.
Oh my God, we both had an Andy.
Yes, Andy over here. Like, just seeing this was like, I don't even understand what I'm seeing. This is like the fact that this is in video games is insane to me. Oh, so good. Anyways, Blabs, you need to try Final Fantasy VII sometime.
I kind of want to try it, actually.
You should. Man, that'd be
the original, all of its mistranslations and all.
It's the beauty of it, man. It's the beauty. But yeah, okay, so chat, what about you guys? What games, like, sent you on your gaming path? Now, Blabs, obviously,
Zoo Tycoon 2.
Bingo. I was going to say, which tycoon was it for you?
Zoo Tycoon 2. Bestest of all. Still, like, unmatchable to this day. Planets has got nothing. Nothing.
Well, let us know in the chat. We'd love to see them for sure. As Joe came in, says the USAID funds 8% of the BBC's Media Action Group. That's a problem. I'm sure Kirsche would love to see what Media Action does.
Oh, I'm sure I would. I don't exactly remember the name off the top of my head.
Pyro Rompa came in and says, all right, ladies, and Craig, no slurs this time. Well, thank you for that.
I promise nothing.
Yeah, no.
You know, Blab starts slurring, and it just makes me excited. I'm like, yes, I can finally do it again.
Could you imagine?
Tranny Goo from Apex Legends. Well, we're 10 minutes in. I think we're fine.
That lasted all of 10 seconds.
We're never safe, Blabs, ever. I can't even imagine you drunk. The things that would come out of your mouth, Blabs. That I just the sheer hatred.
I yelled out a really bad word when I was drunk once.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the toe gaff word.
Oh no.
What's a toe gaff?
Spell it backwards.
Melanie Mac's favorite word.
Oh. Oh, that's all you gotta say.
But I yelled it at my friends, so like that should count.
It's just a fun word to yell. It rolls off the tongue. It's just I don't know, something about it.
If you
I don't particularly like it, but I felt like it was justified just for once.
Look, if I can't call you a candy ass, I probably can't date you. Let's be real.
Listen, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you heard that word on the playground all the time.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Just the
And
way
it's
it was.
it's even bigger, like in the UK and Australia. Like they just like every other word out of their mouths is that word, right? Just for some strange reason, that part, Queen Elizabeth is a weird place, I guess.
Hey, hold on. Speaking of words that are said, I saw this on X, and I was gonna point this out to you, but I figured I'd put you on blast here today. On Today in Gaming History. What does that say after?
I did on purpose to see if you would notice.
Well, I noticed. What does that say after Street Fighter 2: The World Warrior? Well, I'm sorry. What's up, Labs?
Chat for Japanese.
That's right. And you got on me.
Definitely did not. I just said, "Wow,
Wow."
Go ahead. I did on purpose for you. I was like, listen,
okay.
if I'm
gonna teach Craig more slurs.
No. If you look at this, okay, see how like there's no room whatsoever, so I couldn't write the full word Japanese anymore.
Hold
I
on.
was like, what if Craig sees this? So I did it on purpose just for you.
Oh.
So this was all for you.
You're not playing 4K chess with me.
I
What are you
actually
doing?
was though. Like, Craig, you know how my mind thinks. I actually was.
Okay.
She could have went JP. She could have went JPN, but she did JAP just for you, Craig.
I actually did.
Okay. All right. Yes. And you're telling me Blab, seriously.
Look, there's no room.
There's no room? Are you serious?
Well, you can't go and edit it now because it's on Monday, so.
I literally will go in and edit it right now.
No, you won't.
Oh my God. Either way, I found that interesting.
I know. I was playing 4D chess, 4K chess, all the chesses.
Hey, Dirtus King
I
coming
like
in with
chess.
the 10. The Montez, our first Montez super chat, says, Kirsche, I always knew that the left was funded by the government to facilitate their will. I just didn't expect it. It was this much. It was this much, this hard. I'm an American citizen. Paid the British TV license. Ooh.
I feel like we spent way more than just a typical TV license, honestly. Like, the amount of tax dollars that went to funding propaganda a la journalists is kind of insane to me. But I guess when they're trying to transform culture, they really need the help of the typical newspaper kind of people.
Yeah, man. I saw one lady who's like, I want my last 10 years of taxes refunded.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Just give me all my tax money.
I don't even want to pay taxes this year.
Hell no. It's ridiculous. ADDF Toxic came in, says Today in Gaming History brought to you by Montez.
Montez!
Corona Soul came in with the 10 for Montez. Says, without USAID, I find it hilarious that Captain America, the Winter Soldier, was accidentally it looks like real life Hydra. Met Montez. Thank you very much. Also, Seth Trollins, great to see you, my friend. Says, I ran with Ken for a while until Super came out. Cammy was introduced and my world changed forever. Seth, great to see you, my man. I ran Ryu and primarily Ryu is what I said growing up until I learned the wonderful ways of Chun-Li.
I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah, Craig's mic was not recovering from whatever happened.
I was like literally waiting. I was like, okay, it's going to get fixed. It's going to get
I
better.
figured it would just fix itself.
Yeah.
Hopefully, am I better now?
You're good now.
What
Yeah.
Okay, clearly we just need to interrupt you every time it happens.
Yeah, I just thought it was gonna fix itself. So I was like, I'm not gonna. He'll fix it, but it wasn't happening. And then chat was like, I can't hear.
Yeah. Sometimes I just need to shut up.
Yeah.
And then the mic
Shut
fixes
up, Craig.
That's right.
That's what I say to him every day.
True. She does.
I like that guy's profile picture. The art style reminded me of The World Ends With You.
Excellent.
The last super guy.
Wonderful, wonderful compliment to you, my friend. Wasp says, on yesterday's topic of reboots/continuations, Jurassic Park should be redone with an R rating and follow the novel closely. The novel was straight up horror, and I think that would, I guess that would be refreshing. Thank you, Wasp. That would actually be hilarious. Oh, refresh the IP.
Just real quick of that. Okay, so I had no idea, but like, did you guys know there was a new trailer out for the new Jurassic World movie? Like, it was out for like a day basically before I even knew about it, and I was like, it was very underwhelming. So chat, if you've seen it, let me know what your thoughts are, because everyone I've seen, like I've showed it to, is like, oh, this is shit. So
Well, the premise is that they're going back to the original Jurassic Park.
yeah, with like even more dangerous, scary dinosaurs that were left behind because they were too evil, and it's like
that. I think that's the most fascinating thing about Jurassic Park as a whole is that you have a movie about dinosaurs. And these fucking dinosaurs that rip you limb from limb and tear out your organs and chase you down. But they still felt the need to make dinosaurs like dinosaur mutants. It's like, what are we doing? Like, the dinosaurs are scary enough as it is, but you feel the need to have some sort of weird hybrid dino mutant thing. Okay.
Yeah, like, you know what's scarier than regular dinosaurs that'll tear you limb from limb? Weird hybrid dinosaurs that'll tear you limb from limb. They gotta up the ante.
That's right.
yeah.
Bob.
Somebody said it really well on Twitter. It looked like a video game that never was made, and they just turned it into a movie.
I bet it was China's fault. They released a virus that turned the dinosaurs.
It's all
They
fucking
turned all the dinosaurs gay.
always China. Bob coming in with a hot take says Street Fighter 2 ruined arcades. Once operators saw they could make 25 cents every 30 to 60 seconds, they pivoted to only stocking fighting and racing games. We quit getting beat 'em ups, puzzles, and shmups. No variety. Hi, Cringe Fox. I love you.
I'm born in a cringe, molded by it even.
Bob, I appreciate what you're saying, and I agree with you in some semblance of it, but it was such a good time.
I was gonna say, he's definitely right. The arcade that I beat up emo kids at in DDR all the time basically only had fighting games and racing games aside from DDR.
Man, and now when you go to an arcade, it's all like redemption games because those are the ones that make money. You know, all the ones you win fake tickets and games and stuff because people just keep bumping their shit in there. Crocodile says, I just want to raise awareness about to Chibi Review's wrongful suspension on X due to a gang of Shonen fans mass reporting him. They literally created a mini botnet to get him banned.
I saw that. People have been like hating on that guy for ages now. They're just like, we hate the anime and we hate what this guy says on X. And so like a bunch of people just like created a whole bunch of accounts to mass report him to get his account suspended. And it's just like, that dude is living in your heads rent fucking free. Like, that is insane to me that you would take the time out of your day to do that.
Right. Like, what are you doing with your life when you're like, we should really coordinate an attack to take down this guy's X account? Seems like a really good use of your time. Congratulations. Yeah, right. And you're
he's just going to get reinstated as well. I mean, it's annoying, right? But like, he's probably going to get his account back just by going through the support tickets, which again is frustrating and annoying, and he shouldn't have to do it. But it's like, why would you even waste your time making these accounts? Just like get rid of him for a few days.
By the way, definitely not a cult behavior. Definitely
yeah,
not.
Totally normal behavior.
Yes. Honey Badger came in with a totally normal 10. Says, there's a used game store near me that sells PC games. They don't test them, so they sell them for $1. I spent about $40 so far and got some nice games. Got Zoo Tycoon expansions. Let's go, Honey Badger. That sounds like a fun little trip. Zachary came in and says, Montez, I finally remember playing Roller Coaster Zoo Tycoon 1 on Windows 98. When the dinosaur expansion came out, I was over the moon recreating Jurassic Park. Always a pleasure to have Kirsche here. It is always a pleasure, for sure. The Palidan came in with the $20 super chat. Says, in 1989, I'm guessing it was 1989, I was a week away from 3. My mom was giving birth to my brother, so I was dropped off at Great Aunt T's house. She put me on her NES and Super Mario Brothers to occupy me. I got farther than her. The rest is history. Ah, there it is.
Man.
What a great story, Pally Dan. Excellent. The game that turned you into who you are. Love to hear those stories. Anthony says, yay, Blabs and Foxu.
Oh no. Thank you.
That's our show now.
Emperor Creatine says, so boys, how does it feel knowing that we are finally seeing the end of the worldwide fraud machine? And it all started with Zoe Quinn's Five Guys. It was always about ethics in journalism.
It still absolutely blows my mind that Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian actually stood up and gave a speech in front of the UN. Like, that feels like it shouldn't be real, but somehow it is.
Yes. There's definitely some other alternate reality where they are shunned and the world is a better place. But
I guess we should have tried to follow the money once we realized that, because it's like, how would these literal nobodies get in front of the UN to spout their nonsense, right? That should have been like, maybe instead of making fun of them, we dig a bit more. I was too young. I was too young to know.
It always comes back. Follow the money. 100%. Victor says, Street Fighter is my favorite series of all time. I wish I had more time to play these days. Also, Montez! Yes, thank you so much, Victor. And I agree. We all wish we had a little bit more time to play. Sparky says, my gamer journey started with Sonic 2 and Super Mario World, but one of those 1001 emulator CDs for PlayStation 2. Hello, Kirsche. Are you tired of winning yet, Montez?
Absolutely will never get tired of winning. I miss the demo disc that would come with games, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mon, is that your cat, by the way, that I was just hearing?
Yeah, Cheems Ball jumped up on my desk. I have
I love
coffee
it.
and a bowl of fruit, so he wants it.
It's just like a little cat ASMR in the distance, like far, far away.
You'll hear him and Gravy occasionally meow like crazy. Ziggy's very quiet.
Nice.
Video Gamer says the first game was Super Mario Duck Hunt on NES. Parents got it cheap since SNES was already out. Turned me into a gamer. Also, Foxy Love and Montez. Thank you very much, Video Gamer. And Bob says Warlords 2600 started it, but my arcade love began with Final Fight, and that's why I own over 400 arcade boards now. Wow! By the way, you can build a Street Fighter 2 cabinet for cheap. You own 400 arcade boards? Man, Bob, that's awesome.
I'm so glad you're smarter than me, because that name would have got me, man. I would have said it and then been like, oh no.
Bob is a yes. I've stopped saying the first half of Bob's names on purpose. like Scott over here says, how did you get the real Fox News on your channel?
He's got a press pass.
I think we just asked. Marmalin says, I remember the GamerGate 2012 8chan, 4chan boards, and I'm still amazed by the weaponized autism of gamers taking on the U.S. government literally. Thank you, Marmalin. That is great. Also, C. Thomas Peasant says, my life gaming moment. My life gaming started at Mario and Silent Service on the NES, then Mario Kart, GoldenEye, Conker's Bad Fur Day. The rest is history. Let's go. Thank you very much, C. Thomas. And my God, you guys are spectacular. Look, okay, we're gonna get to every super chat, every direct donation, every Rumble rant. But we got things to talk about today. So we are just two yellows away from having Montez belly to back suplex some crazy Karen, which I'm sure Kirsche will have the opportunity to pick whichever animation she'd like to see for that. We'll get to that in just a minute, but let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Okay, now we talk about this stuff all the time, the revisionist history, the idea that you can go in and say, no, that never happened, and just totally disregard things that happened in the past. And we're seeing that in all sorts of media now, Kirsche. And with the update of a classic 80s movie, I believe there was 2, maybe 3 of these movies. Are you familiar with Crocodile Dundee, Kirsche?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was your thoughts on that movie, first and foremost.
I mean, I know what Crocodile Dundee is, but I don't think I've seen the movie. Like, I know the name.
So Crocodile
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's right, Blabs. And I love the fact that you just have a knife at your desk at all times.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't have a desk knife?
And dude, it's great. It's orange camo.
Got my pen over here.
I got the desk knife. I got the desk gun. I got the desk ketchup. You know, I'm fully loaded and ready to go.
All right, let's go. I have desk binoculars.
I have more knives if you want to see.
Yeah, look, hold on. Let's stop down real quick. Yes, Blabs, show us
Hang
your
on.
knives.
Hang on, they're in different drawers. All right. Okay, you got this one. Oh yeah, these took out a lot of pig ear tags in their day. I got this one is like a giant Swiss Army kit, but the knives are pretty damn sharp. This one's an old-fashioned like Swiss Army kit. Again, the knives are really sharp, but this one's seen some shit in the farms. I'm just saying. So anyway,
It's bright orange, so they can see it coming.
yeah. The end.
I love the idea that Blab's out there with her bright orange knife, and they're like, "No, here it's coming for me."
Just imagining her running around Red Dead Redemption 2 style, like gutting the animals and skinning them.
There's more somewhere. I just don't remember.
Blood all over her face. Just
What am I, Rambo?
yeah. All right, we'll start over here, okay? So Crocodile Dundee, classic 80s film. That's not a knife. This is a knife, right? That's one of the famous scenes where it's a classic fish out of water story where you have this guy from Australia and he's kind of he's the whole premise of the movie is that this reporter from New York goes to Australia to meet this guy from the outback who's a legend, right? And then she ultimately brings him back to New York, and it's this fish out of water, not only from her in Australia, but him in New York. And they end up falling in love and blah, 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 and it is what it is.
Isn't that the same plot of the movie where there's like an African prince that comes to New York and like hangs out? Was Eddie Murphy in that?
Coming to America?
Yeah, that's what it was called. I was
Yes.
like, playing Crocodile Dundee, and I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this plot, but with a black man instead of an Australian.
Kirsche was like Africa, Australia. It really is the same thing, and they all start with A's.
Yeah, they both start with A. It's like the same place.
Pretty much right. They're pretty much the same movie, right?
Coming to Dundee.
Well, I quoted Crocodile Dundee all the time as a kid. Specifically, that's not a knife. This is a knife, because there's a scene in it, that scene that we're speaking of here, Kirsche, where he's on the streets of New York, and this guy walks up, and he's gonna mug him. I mean, it's in the 80s. This New York is not safe. So he's walking down the street, and he's with a reporter, and this guy pulls out, and he's like, "Give me all your money." And he's like, "What?" So he pulls out his giant sheath sword that he has and he's like, "That's not a knife. This is a knife," and it's huge. And the guy more or less runs away, and it's a pretty iconic moment. There are other scenes in the movie, though, that people do not like in the year 2025, which, when this movie was released in 1986-ish.
People had a sense of humor?
Correct. So do you know what a Sheila is when it comes to
Australian lady?
That's right. That's right. Well, they're in the outback in this scene, and he is being approached by a woman at a bar.
Oh, no.
And the woman itself is, and all the guys are behind this woman, laughing at what's happening right here, because Crocodile Dundee over here is kind of like, all right, what's happening here? I'm kind of into what's being thrown down. So anyways, he then learns that is actually a cross-dressing man by his friends. And because he's looking at this dude in drag, and then he looks at this guy, and he takes his hand and he puts it on the guy's junk to confirm that it's a guy, and everybody laughs about it. And he's like, "That man was dressed like a Sheila," whatever, kind of laughing about it, and everyone kind of laughs and they have a good time. Well, guess what? There's a new cut of Crocodile D coming out called the Encore Cut that removes that footage from the original film. And this is one of those things where we have people upset over the crazy things of making jokes from 1986.
I think shit like this is one of the reasons why normal people have gotten so fed up with any kind of like transgender ideology, right? because it's like normally normies are just like, we're fast asleep, we don't give a shit about any of this. But it's like they want to throw all of cross-dressing and all of drag queen stuff and all of like anything that could even be remotely misconstrued as transgender. They're like, all of that is ours actually, and all of it is offensive, and so you can't make these jokes anymore.
Yeah. Now, and I agree with you. It's so tiresome. It's so boring, right?
I've got as Blabs would say, tranny fatigue.
Blabs, would you say that?
Yeah, actually. And funny enough, like J.K. Rowling put out this giant tweet about that today, saying like how all these things have absolutely we've regressed as society because of all this shit. And it was actually
Absolutely.
It's very similar to Crocodile Dundee, because like gays have been harassed even though they don't want all this stuff in like movies and all these ideas pushed either. Children were harassed, all this stuff, and like it ties in with all this stuff that now we're even having scenes removed like 40 years later from a movie. It's like, wow, we're insane.
And it's like it's not even a transgender person. It has nothing to do with being transgender. It's literally like a cross-dressing dude.
Yep.
Right. And you can see actually this Flash is in the chat. Flash tweeted this out. This is the footage itself. You can see the the cross-dressing dude talking to Crocodile Dundee. They're at the bar. He gets told, he's like, "Hey man, that's actually a man in a dress." And like to be clear, like Crocodile Dundee, Mick, that's his name. He's totally naive, and you can see him reach his hand down, and he just grabs and then whoa, and then everybody laughs.
That was a guy.
And so he's
That's
like,
a guy.
that's why, you know, that's just it, right? So they cut that scene out. Then they actually cut out another scene a little bit later on where he's in New York, and there is a kind of nondescript, like older woman in it. And this is the scene here where the lady from New York, the lady on the left, is his like love interest in it. That's the reporter, and they go to this like socialite party. And he doesn't know what to think of this person because he can't really tell their hair. So naturally, what he does is he goes up and he does the exact same thing to this person.
Something matter, darling? Pleased to meet you.
And she's like,
Pleased to meet you.
"You're right." And her natural response is this.
It's okay. He's Australian.
You know, they're just barbaric like that. Don't worry about it.
Right. So the whole fish out of water, like this is a callback to an earlier scene in the movie that really takes place in both sides of the world, this Australian outback and over here in New York. And it's one of those things where you see this stuff being removed and there's actual context to why this is happening. It's not transphobic. There's a reason why he does it. He's doing it out of ignorance. He's naive to the situation. He doesn't understand, like most people would be in that situation. It actually adds humanity to Crocodile Dundee in a situation like this, where he's...
And it's like everyone is allowed to be made fun of. Movies have made fun of absolutely everyone, every ethnicity, every fucking like race, every whatever you want, right? Like there's just jokes about everyone. And so when like the transgender ideologues get kicked up into a frenzy and they're like, "Oh, we have to remove this stuff. This stuff is against modern sensibilities." It's just like, what are you doing, man? Like, you want this privileged status where nobody can make fun of anything that even remotely touches in like your little bubble of the world, even if it has nothing to do with you. It's crazy.
Well, to even go further, you can almost, like, if you do like some 4D chess with this, you can also say this is racist, right? So Crocodile Dundee, where is he from specifically in Australia? He's from the outbacks. He's really friends with the natives, right? They don't know any of this stuff with trans. So it's not really ignorance. It's like a culture thing, right? Native, like all these indigenous people, natives, they're not trans. There aren't any of those people there. So when you remove this, you're basically saying your culture is ignorant, your culture is shit. So this, you could do some 4D thing with this, is racist to the indigenous people of Australia.
Yeah, but I mean, the people who do this stuff are obviously always racist, you know? That doesn't surprise me. This is like more... more like castigating old films for the sake of the modern audience, where it's like beloved IPs, beloved movies, things that people enjoyed in the past. We have to change them and remove things that we don't think are acceptable in the modern era. And so that, you know, when the younger generation consumes the availability that we have now of these things, they won't even know that things were removed. They're just like, that's the way it is.
Well, what's interesting about this as well is Paul Hogan is the guy who plays Crocodile Dundee. And he actually signed off on these changes. We made. And his logic here seems so fucking flawed. He says Hogan signed off on the changes to the film. Inevitably, someone has wheeled out the word woke and asked him about it. Hogan's response is that people pointed out to him that this guy's a folk hero around the world. He shouldn't be groping people. And I thought, yeah, that's right. He shouldn't be. So take it out. I mean, he did it in innocence, in naivety, but it's better without it. Which, yeah, like
it's just a joke. It's not like actual Australians go around like groping people before they say hello. Like,
right.
Like Blabs said, the guy's from the outback. He's like, you know, from a different kind of culture. He's not like growing up in big Australian cities, right?
That's the whole point of it. That's literally the whole point of the movie. And it's amazing to see the reaches here, and the fact that he like signed off on it is like, ooh, it's better without him.
I'm wondering if it was like a gun to his head kind of thing, like you're gonna sign off on this, or we're gonna run around and tell everyone that you're okay with groping, you misogynist. You're also transphobic, by the way, so you know.
That's right. Oh, by the way, yes, you're also. That's right. You're also transphobic.
And we're gonna tack on these things to make you scared, so you're gonna sign off on it, bud.
There would be extreme irony if somebody actually held up a knife to him and was like, listen,
it all comes full circle.
That's right. And he's like, that is a knife. Oh no. Oh man. Well, that's interesting. Very 1984. I
like how in that article as well, they put the sigh before they said the word woke. No bias at all.
Right. Oh. Well, that's it is what it is, man. That's kind of where we're at with society. So all right, let's move on. But before we do, we have a little bit of celebration here. As Dave came in and says, Blabs, he wants to know, did you use that knife to castrate pigs?
So no, that would be totally wrong. Also, I used a scalpel. It was disinfected every single time, and the balls were also wiped with iodine too, and it was a slit, yank.
Did you ever use the like special gelding tools?
No, but I had a friend who bit off balls. Actually, it was Australia. So he went to Australia for work. He's actually from Holland, but lives in Canada. And he went to Australia for work over the summer once in college. And they were like in the middle of nowhere. And they're like, so yeah, we bite off the balls sometimes of sheep to castrate them. And he's like, what? And he's like, I don't want to try. They're like, you should totally try it. So he tried it once. He's like, never again.
I wonder if they were like fucking hazing him or if that's a real thing.
I don't know.
They're like, let's see if we can get this dumb guy from Holland to believe we actually bite the balls off of our animals to castrate them.
It's really weird. Like, I never heard that ever been done before. And he was like, yeah, it was really weird. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to bite someone's balls off. Like,
sheep. It wasn't people. But I wouldn't want to bite a sheep's balls off either. I'd rather just use a scalpel.
They're gonna be dirtier.
Don't worry, Craig. I won't come after you. I've never done it to any human before. Yeah. Don't plan on that either, really, unless you harass me.
Weird.
So, yeah. What? The chat asked.
Balls in self-defense.
Risk Videos came in with a 10. Says my dad just came home one afternoon with the OG Genesis and the first Sonic. He got it aftermarket with the Sega Master Controller. This is how my gamer journey started. Montez, thank you so much, Risk Videos. Marmalin says, Montez, bring it for the Foxu. Well, listen, Montez is here. We're ready to go. I have a feeling we're going to have a big Montez day. It's going to be a great Montez day. Kirsche, where should Montez go today? The Mushroom Kingdom, Dustborn, the Moon, Mortal Kombat, or Street Fighter?
Well, you were really excited about Street Fighter, so let's go with that one.
Oh, good call.
Bitch!
Montez wins. Perfect.
Yatta!
Perfect. Love it. Well, guys, thank you very much for our first Montez goal of the day. Let's keep it going. As Synapse came in with the 10 something. What is the R's? I don't know. Russian rubles? Thank you very much for the about 10 for that. And the Holly and Juggalo says the internet itself is the issue. Prior to mass data uploads, you only had one chance to make a game. Now with the ability to change it whenever never comes. Net breed complacency and laziness. Ted was right. Thank you very much, Holly and Juggalo.
Oh man, the Yatta. When I was a kid and I played Digimon World 1, when you would like win battles and stuff, there's like very little voice acting in that game because it was a PS1 game. But like when you would win battles and stuff, the kid would go Yatta. And for the longest time, when I was a child, I thought that like English was the only language. So I didn't know that he was saying something in Japanese. I just thought it was like a weird noise that he made. And so I would say the weird noise all the time as well.
Oh. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Other languages that aren't English, they're just weird noises. You know?
That's right. Hey, Tenarian says, I've been busy at work lately. I've been playing Shadow Hearts 2 the last time Kirsche was on, and I still am. I'm fine with it, though. It's a great game. I'm going to use my hard-earned money on more games for 20-plus-year-old consoles rather than modern games. Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
Swiggity Potate came in with the $25 direct donation. Guys, thank you very much. Your generosity is greatly appreciated today. It says, morning all. I miss the arcade. My mom used to play House of the Dead in tournaments. Wow. Your mom used to play House of the Dead in tournaments? Number one, they had tournaments. And number two, your mom was in them? Like, that's crazy. So I used to play.
Chat is saying that the R is Brazilian real.
Oh. Well,
I didn't know that either. I think my chat probably told me at some point, and I forgot, as I am wont to do.
Love that. Swiggity also says, I used to play so many fighters at the bowling alley, too. Hail to the Foxu. There we go. Hiya. Thank you very much. Garrett came and says, my first game was Atari 2600 Tank Pong. Oh, man. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. And Swiggity came back, says, oh, and my video game journey started at Mega Man 5, and now I own all American released Mega Man games to this day. Let's go. That's great to see. Awesome. Kinetic Zen says, started gaming on the 2600 with Adventure, got hooked with Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy on the NES. It's been amazing to watch the medium grow and evolve over the years. May there be many more. Thank you so much, Kinetic Zen. Ranger George says, Mortal Kombat 3 was the game for me when I was a kid. My aunt's future husband worked for a game studio, so wanted to impress my cousins by showing us the game before it was released. It worked. Let's go. That's awesome, Ranger George. And Tenarian came back with a $20 direct donation. Says, my first game was Space Invaders on the 2600. My first NES game was Metroid. I was, however, more of an outdoors kid till I got the Mega Drive Genesis to you guys, and Aladdin, Revenge of Shinobi, and the Streets of Rage series, and of course Street Fighter 2. That's awesome, man. You got a little bit of balance there with your game selection, which was great. Mercenary says, I sent you a Doge tracker on Twitter, and I'm sorry, but you guys have a feeling they're going to find their goal reached before April of this year and not next year. Also, YouTube won't let me send this to you for some reason. But you can't say Doge on YouTube, apparently.
Really?
That is so dumb.
That's weird if true.
Isn't it like how people used to spell dog stupidly? Like, oh, look at the dog.
The Doge meme.
Yes.
That's so sad.
All right. Speaking of sad, let's talk about this viral clip of this comedian. I don't really have an opinion when it comes to like male versus female comedians. I know a lot of people do. Some people are like, oh, female can't be funny.
I mean, typically, yeah, that's true.
Right. Well, this lady, I've never heard of this lady before, but I saw this tweet, and it has 55 million views on X. Yes, it is massive, and it says, this is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I want to check this out, and I want to get your response to this. So let's see how this goes down here. This lady's on stage at a little comedy club.
Right now.
Well, I can roast you too. Roast all of us.
Whoa! You were afraid because I felt like I was saying your name.
I can take the mic.
It's okay, he's your new friend. Don't say this. Like, it is such a hard time for right now, there's one people that came together.
This is when you're just like, well, of course you're gay. You need to be the center of attention. Like you got to know how to handle hecklers, lady. Like she just looks at him like a disappointed teacher. Oh my god! Like you just know it's about to go bad.
It goes. It definitely goes. And yes, this guy's heckling. Like you're in a tiny club. This guy probably doesn't really know who you are. Like she has no idea who he is. This is a small comedy club, right?
Yeah, like a part of being a comedian is being able to handle hecklers.
Yes. All right. So here we go. Let's see how she handles this.
Right now, there's so many people that came together to be supportive and fucking amazing, and you're putting negative. No, fucking look me in the eyes. You're putting negative fucking energy out here. This is the last show of my fucking. Look me in the fucking eyes. It's the last. Look at me. The last show of my fucking weekend is a sold out show, and you want to say mean shit to me, okay? So don't fucking do that. Right now.
So
you see, she probably wouldn't have been as angry if she had had a nice dicking sometime before the show. I bet it's been years for that lady.
That's really all she needed, huh, Kirsche?
I was like, that's one way to get your woman to not be crazy. You know, doctors used to prescribe cocaine and dildos. If you're a man, you know, you don't need a dildo. You got a dick. You know, just have her, you know, orgasm a few times. She'll calm out. She'll calm down real quick.
Well, I mean, this lady, like, talk about the crazy eyes. Like this lady was nuts. You can tell. And they posted this like it's some sort of big win. I just see this as some crazy Looney Tune yelling at some guy in the crowd who's trying to get a rise out of her. And guess who won? That guy.
Yeah, that guy, because she got angry instead of just playing into a joke, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, it continues here. Absolutely epic.
I didn't. Wait, there's a part 2?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a part 3.
Yeah,
damn, it's
more.
a saga.
Let's see how this goes. And naturally, the crowd's like, "Yay, power!"
Is that like a fucking dollar store Dragon Ball Z dragon on her shirt?
Oh, I thought you were talking about her tattoos. That she has.
I can't see tattoos. That looks like Chinesium Dragon Ball Z dragon with like a Dragon Ball in its mouth.
Total cultural appropriation with those tattoos. Really unfortunate. Here we go.
You can leave.
You can leave.
This guy's texting his friend. It's so cute. You can leave too. I won't be offended. Okay.
What the fuck?
So she took his phone, and she's seeing what he said to his friend.
Okay, I'm confused now. Hold on. This seems manufactured to me now. Because, like, why would the guy heckling her, who she just went, like, 10,000 level bitch crazy on, why would he then hand this psycho woman his cell phone?
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me either, at all. I think there is some bullshittery going on.
There's a little friend plant in the audience because she ran out of material.
Yes, right. So let's see how she responds. Strong woman.
LOL, what a fucking clown. I did warn you I would get kicked out. Man, she is sensitive, especially for a comedian.
It's not wrong.
Gotta farm those penny points, man, dude. I am just distracted by the way she looks, though. Like, she looks the way my mother's house smelled, like just tons of Marlboro red smoke, you know, like damp old laundry that needs to be rewashed, like a sink full of like molding food, you know, like just imagine the smell, man.
I don't want to.
Mom is such an interesting person. Like every time you're on, there's more mom lore of Kirsche here.
And my mom is a terrible person, but you know, she gave stories.
Well, this lady, I mean, I think she looks like an idiot. Personally, but
she needs a shower.
Yeah, she does. Well, let's see how this finishes up with this strong woman here.
That's kind of funny, though.
Yeah.
Taking a selfie with a middle finger and sending it
right? Absolutely manufactured after having seen this.
You think so?
I was like, The heckler's not going to give you his phone so you can go, hee hee tee hee, look, he said to his friend, I knew I would get kicked out. Like that, come on, man. And like everyone's cheering for it like it's real. I would have been so upset if I was there. I would have walked out.
I don't understand it. I don't really get why that's seen as some sort of like empowering moment. I mean, like her job is literally to be a comedian on stage and to entertain people. And I think that guy was right. She seems incredibly sensitive for a comedian, right?
She put a cis-het white male in his place, though. So that's
right.
why everyone's cheering.
Well, maybe he was a white male. I don't know. She does have a special over on YouTube. According to her X handle, comedian special on YouTube. Shut up, you love it, and the podcast Help with Natalie, or I guess there you go. So and also on tour. So, right, I don't know. The whole thing just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
This is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. These people do not live in reality.
I agree. I don't understand why this popped off as much as it's popped off. But
probably a little bit of like people who don't live in reality being like, yeah, you go, girl, you stick it to those cis-het white males. Because if she had brought in like a black friend to stage this way, she would have been racist. So it's going to be a white dude. And the people like us who are also reposting it everywhere, like, wow, look at this fucking manic idiot who probably needs to be in a psychiatric ward.
You know who I feel most sorry for? Her husband. Which
she has one of those?
Because on her X account, or on her YouTube channel, she has her wedding information up here.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. Her husband looks exactly like you think her husband would look. I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
Oh, no.
He's the guy who sits in the corner. He's like, yeah, honey, it's okay.
Yeah, he sits in the chair in the corner of the room.
Oh my God. And I'm waiting for her to show up and be like, look me in the eyes and tell me it. Look me in the eyes.
You see, I was right. She just needs a good dicking. Do you think a man like that is making her come? Absolutely not.
Well, there you go. He certainly has a way with his right there. Sorry, I didn't mean to go in on the husband or anything, but dude, like, what'd you sign up for, man? Like, I can only imagine her being like, look at me in the eyes.
Well, see, when you're a husband, you gotta be ready to be a dragon tamer. You gotta be like, oh, my wife's really bitchy today. It's time to lay some pipe, you know.
It's time to lay some pipe. Let's go. Let's go, honey. Put my workman hat on over here.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God is right. Well,
good
luck to her.
What's part 3? What's part 3 of that saga? Because there was a third video.
It was just a. There was no third part. It was just it was a TikTok.
Oh, that's unlucky. I got really excited for part 3.
Yeah, it's just the TikTok of the situation, and here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see the TikTok here.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, wait. What made you want to ask him?
Huh? Why are you making it sound like we're a couple?
Oh my God, don't get scared. What? Oh, it's not that. Wow, it's not that. Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
I could leave right now.
Well, I can roast you too. You can't just roast all of us and get nothing.
Whoa! Whoa!
I see.
Okay, so that's the lead-in.
This is them being weirdly supportive of it. It's so manufactured. Like, after seeing part 2, I'm like angry now.
Yeah, like
it's like she got exactly what she wanted.
Right.
She went viral. She got all this attention. Like, everybody knows her name now, and it's like she planted that guy. This is completely manufactured bullshit.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Interesting to say the least. Well, good luck to her. Good luck to her. I'm sure she'll have a long and very successful marriage.
Yeah, like that guy who tried going after Mr. Beast, and I don't even remember his name now. He wanted a comedy career. How's that going?
That's it. Side note, that guy, the fact that Mr. Beast, like, and he openly admitted to Mr. Beast giving him money to like more or less shut up. Like,
Yeah,
What a
like
fucking
not
asshat.
defending Mr. Beast, because like obviously there's
Right.
questionable shit going on there, but this guy was just like, oh yeah, now is the time to launch my comedy career, and it's like, bro, man, I'm funnier than you, and I'm a woman, like, come on.
Right. Dirt is King says I started with a used copy of the 4-in-1 Zelda disc for the GameCube. Nice.
I have one.
You? I bet.
Yeah.
I think it's super pricey these days.
Yeah, it is super pricey. Unfortunately, mine's not factory sealed, but you know.
Oh, well, you can still get some good coin for that. I don't know how young me did that, but that and Fire Emblem 7 made me. Let's go, Dirt is King. Thank you very much. Ministry Wrong Thing says the deep state really messed up trying to defy Elon and continue USAID after Trump's executive order. All it did was sort of bullseye on it. Now we know it was just used as a propaganda slush fund. Thank you very much. We'll get to more of that in just a minute. Katoka came in and says, I've been gaming since I was less than a year old. Thanks, Mom, with Super Mario Brothers on the NES. But for me, it was the OG Crash Bandicoot and the Batman Arkham series, which would be my pinnacle games. Awesome. Anthony says, we need to go back to when Blazing Saddles was okay to make. Yeah, I mean, you can still make it. You absolutely can. And I actually think that it would be responded to very well. Hippo came in and says, there can be an argument that Dundee's naivety to the world, crotch grabbing, is because of his upbringing with Aboriginals. Seems to be erasing to his culture and upbringing, two genders and sailing. Yeah, right, Helen. Yes,
Look
for
at
sure.
how wrinkly that hippopotamus is. I want to slap it.
All right, let's go. Slap that hippo. Colger says, be careful, Greg. She knows the procedure. I'm guessing you're talking about Blabs and her silly knife. Taker says, Final Fantasy VII is still my all-time favorite game. Of course, weirdo woke activists will tell me I like woke stuff because Final Fantasy VII was woke. It had women and a black man in it after all. You got me. Thanks, Taker.
Some people are just like mentally ill, man.
Synapse Gibbons says, Brazilian real, low-key fake money, but it's what I have. Hey, we appreciate all support. Thank you so much for
But
your
that's why they
Brazilian
have
real.
to call it real.
That's right. It's so real.
If you believe hard enough, it won't be fake anymore.
Marvelin says, that wasn't a comedy show. That was a one-woman show art piece. Right.
Like the SpaghettiOs.
UNSC Saratoga says, I worked in a comedy club before. She nuked her own career. No sane club manager would ever hire her for a show ever again after seeing her act like that. Interesting.
I don't know about that, because a lot of, like, I go to comedy clubs, and a lot of the comedy club circuit are like leftist. So I wouldn't, like, after COVID, when I went to comedy clubs when they started opening back up again, pretty much every set was just like, I'm a lesbian and I hate Trump. Ah! It was absolutely just, get some new material, please, I beg of you.
I'm sure their sets went over really well. It was great. Scott says, started with 1-2-3 Sesame Street on the NES, but didn't really love gaming until I got Fire Emblem on the GBA and started playing RPGs and JRPGs. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that, my man. All right. Okay. Let's play a game, Kirsche. The game is, what's anti-LGBT today?
Me!
Well, are you Lego?
No, but I could be.
Because Lego now is seen as anti-LGBT, according to the Science Museum.
What?
Now, Lego can be seen as anti-LGBT because the bricks have male and female parts that are made to mate with each other. So the idea of having the little prongs on them makes it anti-LGBT.
Are they going to be coming after like male and female fucking computer cables after this? Like what?
Yes, of course. I think Master TDS is right. Do you have brain damage? That's right.
I think they have brain damage, because didn't Lego also come out with like that weird LGBTQ Lego set like a couple of years ago?
Blabs, see if you can do a little digging on that. I'm sure there's all sorts.
Like, I'm sure there's like a little commercial on Twitter that I remember playing on my own stream.
Mm-hmm.
No, Lego was actually very, very pro LGBTQ, like for years.
Yeah.
I've researched it. They're insane, actually. Like they have like the rainbow sets and all that stuff. Yeah, people were really pissed off with them a couple years back.
Well, we see the response to this is exactly what you'd expect it to be. This is Leo over on X says, "What's homophobic today? Today, Lego is homophobic somehow." That's right. I wonder if, like, the idea that museums seeing things queerly tour claims the idea that the toy bricks are gendered. Like, this is clearly propaganda, right? The idea that the museums seeing things queerly. First off, I didn't know that people who were gay saw things differently than me. I didn't know their eyesight was a thing. But also noted, for this seeing things queerly tour, they left off the Q in LGBTQ. So they can't be seeing things that queerly, I suppose. Kirsche, you got anything on this? Uh-oh, is she still there?
I was muted because I was typing. I was trying to find the Lego commercial thing. I don't know if this is the one with the song or if it's just people talking about it, but this was the Lego set that I was talking about.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, A to Z is awesome. Here we are. Yeah, look at this. We got ourselves a nice little awesome LGBTQ.
This was 2021.
Oh yeah, this is right up. Hey, look at all that. There we go. There's James. I'm so happy. Look at all.
I'm a black queer woman who loves Lego bricks.
I'm sure they sold dozens of these.
I'm sure someone who likes Lego calls them Lego bricks regularly.
Oh my! Wow, look at that, dude.
This person's name is Pigeon.
Oh, of course. Why is that? Oh,
what is that?
There's Jeannie over there. Good. Jeannie is the guy who loves Legos.
That's a transgender garden.
So they've made tons of these, but I don't think I've ever seen this one. I wish I hadn't.
I'm
Kirsche.
sorry to bring you this knowledge.
Well, there you go. A to Z. Blabs, will you see if lego.com/A to Z is still up or if they've just totally abandoned that? If it was strictly
those, like Lego bricks that came in at the end, right? Maybe that's what they want. Like these new people who are like, we can't have the male and female bricks. Maybe these are the bricks that they want now. Like just the crazy looking ones.
Well, maybe they're just going to cut off the ends of one bricks and try to change the bricks. Yeah. Maybe that's what we're doing over here. Blabs, does lego.com/A to Z still exist? Or is
I can't find it, but they still, if you type in Lego on Lego LGBT, now I can't show because I have an account with Lego, so I can't pull it up. The first set is still available as Everyone is Awesome for $34.99, and it's the giant rainbow set that I was talking about. The thing is with that is like some people bought the set because they just wanted the different color minifigures. Because they collect minifigures and all that. So everyone who's like, oh my God, you're buying this set because you're pro-LGBT. Meanwhile, some of these people are like, no, I just really wanted a green minifigure. Or like a brown minifigure or a purple minifigure. And so, yeah.
There was a whole I'm glad that Lego is eschewing societal norms and giving us gender-affirming Lego bricks.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at now with society. And, we need gender-affirming Lego bricks.
Do you know what's funny? Is that this Lego set, it's called Everyone is Awesome. It's the rainbow set. If the way to find it is home other. So they're literally saying LGBT is other. That's funny.
That's kind of bigoted of them.
Incredibly bigoted. It's really crazy. Wow. Well, that's the thing is, even despite the amount of literal marketing and pandering they put here, it's never going to be good enough because people will always find a way to complain. It's so
absolutely amazing. The victim points must flow. How else will these people make money and get attention?
Okay, so that still exists, the Lego A through Z, but it gets redirected to Everyone is Awesome, and it's all about gay stuff. I can just put in the private chat because, again, I can't pull this shit up.
This generic gay stuff.
This is a penis.
It's about Pride Month, and things like that. It's literally like Samira's portrait that, she made because she gay. Workplace diversity in Lego group offices. Yeah.
Congratulations to her. That's great.
Yeah, it's in the private chat if you ever want it.
This Pride Month, we're celebrating you to celebrate your awesome, true self.
That's right. For you to give us money. That's right. That's we did a video about this. We talked about this on the show last week, where when it came to Dragon Age, did you see the kind of the they them guy? I don't know who this person was, but they were the big person who was like, they have trans scars in Dragon Age Veilguard, and the game flopped, and now they've came to this realization that they're like, Dragon Age didn't actually like me.
This lady, if you scroll down, there's like 3 pictures of this lady. One in a business suit with her bra showing, another of like her touching herself in painting form, and another of her like laying down on some weird blocks. She looks like the fucking black lady that they model all of the ugly characters off of in video games now. Doesn't she? Is she that lady? Because they say she's an actor.
That's a great question.
What's her name?
Samira Wiley.
No, that's not her. The other one is isn't the other chick from like James Bond? That's the one who they're using in these movies, aren't they?
Samira Wiley, actor. What has she been in? I can't find anything.
Everybody's an actor at this point. So
I guess so. Oh, she's been in The Handmaid's Tale, Orange is the New Black. A bunch of shit I've never heard of.
Yeah, no, this is really like top stuff.
Well, it'll never be good enough, Lego. It'll never be good enough. Sorry about that.
Man, I miss when Lego was just pure fun for children
and that's when everything was just pure fun.
Yeah.
Yes. It's amazing how that works out. Yes.
Oh my god, you got a fucking hundo in the super chat?
I see that as Joseph came in with the $100 super chat. Says, bring on the Pult fan as Japan Day Tripper. There we go. He can share you his cursed knowledge on localization practices. He's also canonically married his waifu in a manga. All right.
Pult fan and I did a show together. He lives in Japan and he does like translation stuff. And I had suggested that he start doing like retranslated on his own channel for his content. So he can show just how bad like the localization has gotten in Western games. And he does a really, really good job like pointing out all of the things that have been wrong or changed or like ideologicalized in these games from people. So he's a decent person to talk to for any kind of translation stuff that you might talk about in the future. And it is true. He canonically married his waifu, Pult. It's in the Monster Musume, I think, a manga. Like he's literally in the manga as a character.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Joseph. We'll put Pult fan down as somebody to reach out to. Thank you very much. Incredibly nice. Also incredibly nice is Victor, who came in with the $50 super chat. Says, seeing things queerly has a very specific meaning according to crit queer theory. Queering is defined as being in opposition to normal. And because it's a crit theory politically against normal, no matter what, quote, normal is, queer theory is evil.
I mean, critical theory is just a part of an offshoot of like the Marxist ideology. They use that terminology back in the USSR as well. And queer theory obviously is just another branch of that because it's another way to divide people in the US that they didn't have in like previous things. I find that people are just like, actually it can't be Marxism because like Marxists hated gay people. And it's like, yeah, like Marxists back in the day hated gay people, but we have gay people being Marxists now. So I don't know what you want to do about that, man.
Well, Victor, thank you very much. Genuinely appreciate that support, and thank you very much for allowing us to show off those assets. Once again, we see every super chat, every direct donation. We'll get to every single one throughout the course of the show. But let's go and move on to this next story here before we get to those. Now, Kirsche, the last couple weeks have been crazy as DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, has been discovering all sorts of crazy things that have been that U.S. tax dollars has been spent on.
That's my orange man.
It has been very interesting to see. Now, look, I'm going to be really clear. I think that we all know there's been corruption going on, but for me, it's just a matter of like, it's really shocking where this money has been spent and the literal propaganda that has been funded by our government to think a certain way. And that does make its way into video games through various other outlets. One of those outlets being Politico. Now, look, I was very naive when I started this show, when Side Scrollers came back. I was like, I want to stay out of all that stuff. But the more and more it came up, I just realized it's all fucking connected. It's all connected and it's all there. And it's just an absolute mess.
I had the same thing. It's like I just wanted to be left alone and play video games, but they kept encroaching in where I wanted to just relax. And so it's like I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice if I stay quiet about it, even if I'm afraid a bit of like people coming in and doing like the cancel culture nonsense. Because I was at like the beginning of streaming, so not like in general, but like the beginning of my streaming.
I was very naive to think that was the case, and I think it's nice to have that naivete. But when it's just shoved in your face constantly and they're so brazen about it, you have to talk about these things. And, this show has been about, pointing and laughing at stupidity. And there's been a lot of stupidity that has happened over the last few years, and one of those things that's been stupid that has been ongoing for a long time is the moving of tax funds to various literal propaganda outlets, including Politico, like we mentioned, with $8 million being spent of taxpayer dollars to fund 36 different subscriptions to Politico, more or less. That's funding.
Crazy.
I mean, it's jaw-dropping. So how does this tie into video games? Well, if you go back a decade to 2014 with the GamerGate, when the first GamerGate happened, there was a lot of hit pieces that were put out about GamerGate and what a far right extremist, whatever, and the messaging behind GamerGate was skewed because it initially started based off of a pushback about journalistic integrity in the video game space, and then it got shifted and molded by these outlets that it became about sexualization of women and how men are toxic, and it became all these things that it truly wasn't through propaganda. And we have this tweet out here. It says, people have wondered if our tax dollars were used to promote wokeness in video games, and the answer is yes. USAID paid Politico millions per year to write pieces like this one, which promotes diversity and describes GamerGate as a disinformation and harassment campaign.
It's like, it feels so vindicating, right? Because obviously all of us knew this, and especially once people started looking into Sweet Baby. Like I had been looking into them since like October 2023, because I think it was 2024 that had the entire like news cycle just focused on them. But like they were getting government money from like Canada, and it's like if Canada's spending government money on like not necessarily Sweet Baby, but like the Baby Ghost or whatever they're called, if they're getting government grants, then I'm sure our government is doing it somewhere. So it's also nice to see like the proof of that happening.
Well, I mean, yes, this is very validating for a lot of people. And you can see that, these articles here, this is the status handoffs of Washington's most famous gamer from a libertarian leaning white man to two millennial socialist women of color, is in some ways the perfect summation of how video games have changed in recent years. And this was all, and they're talking about Anita Sarkeesian.
I was saying, who is the most famous gamer? And they're mentioning two socialist women. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about Anita Sarkeesian and the other lady in this situation. The two people that you mentioned,
Yeah, most famous, the other lady.
Yes, whatever. Yeah. But it's been amazing to kind of see this. Video games were never really the exclusive province of white male loners, but that's been the stereotype. And some players took that reputation seriously, so much so that they organized a backlash to try to protect it.
I am angry. I am angry at that. How do you so brazenly rewrite history in that manner? Like, when I played video games, right? Like, I was a very, very small minority of like women who were playing games. Even when I got into like my teenage years and started playing online games, like every arcade I went to, it was overwhelmingly men. Sometimes they would bring their girlfriend. At any game I played online, anyone I talked to about games, I got bullied for like being a boy because I played video games. I was like, video games have always overwhelmingly been a white male nerd outcast fucking hobby. Like, how dare you? That's just fucking like, yes, there were people who weren't white, there were people who weren't male, but overwhelmingly it was them. It was them playing them, it was them making them. That was their domain, dude. And like everywhere in culture would show them as like, you know, the nerdy outcast who just got bullied. I was like crazy.
Well, and here's the spoiler. It's still the same way. Like, we see all these stats about, you know, oh, it's 50% women, 50% male. Like, I've talked about this on the show a dozen times. We know that's bullshit. We know that's bullshit. It's never been that way. It'll never be that way. Yes, there are women who play Candy Crush. We get it. There are dudes who play Candy Crush. There are dudes who play WWE Superstars or All-Stars, whatever it is, on their phones. That's great, right? But we're talking about core console games. The ESRB has been telling us that it's 50% male and female playing console games.
And it's not.
That's so fun. It's pure propaganda.
Absolutely is. And I see chat, you know, correcting me and being like, there are tons of games made in like Japan and Asia. And it's like, yes, but in Western countries, it was overwhelmingly male and white. If you include globally, then yes, it wouldn't be white in that case. It would just be overwhelmingly male in general. Like, you are correct, chat.
This very true. But then you see things, you know, continuing on with this article here. It says, if you look at the history of Taylor Swift, if you go back 10 to 12 years, her main critics were actually coming from the left. There was a feminist discourse that argued that she was too heteronormative and that she was supporting the patriarchy by writing these love songs with straightforward boy meets girl, happily ever after kind of narrative. Do people realize how fucking insane this sounds?
That is actually insane. I don't even know what to say about someone who is so far removed from the real world. Like, how are you allowed to be a journalist, man?
That's why they lose. That's why they'll continue to lose, and that's why the reaction to this is so hard and so swift for them to understand. It's nobody thinks like that. Zero people except for this one person. That's it.
It's like you need these kind of like brain damaged ideologues who will just respond to buzzwords like stimuli to continue pushing propaganda, because if you have people that are actually capable of thinking, they might start asking questions, and you don't want that.
Yes, don't stop asking questions. Stop asking
questions. Just consume product.
Right. Well, then we have this, which people have been starting to do a little digging about where some of these charities have been getting their funding. And we see, you know, we talked about Zoe Quinn a second ago. Zoe Quinn was brought up. That was the other woman, as well as Anita Sarkeesian that we were mentioning. And wouldn't you know it, Feminist Frequency also saw some of this government funds being sent their way to the tune of $235,000. Feminist Frequency saw this money, which is, hey, there we go. This is from Sargon, who was a face of the original GamerGate. He says, I just wanted to play video games, but no, not good enough. $235,000 going to Feminist Frequency.
I put the link where this information is coming from in the group chat here, and I don't know how to read this. I'm willing to admit when I'm like, you know, I don't know what's going on. But when you search for Feminist Frequency, and I mean the charity does say the table shows the total contributions and government grants for each 501c3 charity, and so it says government grants $0, indirect government money $6, total taxpayer dollars $6. And then other cast contributions are the 235, 222. So I'm wondering, are the other cash contributions also coming from the government? Or how did they only get like $6 from the taxpayers if this was a government grant. I don't know how to read this.
All I know is that there's money coming from there, and that is a mess. Oh wow.
Yeah, because that's why I'm curious, right? Because if the other cash contributions are just like non-government grants, but then why would it be on the charity funding about like contributions and government grants? But it's completely separated from taxpayer dollars and indirect government money and government grants. So it could just be that the other cash contributions had nothing to do with government funding, and it was just like the total contributions that company got as a charity. I'm not sure. And like, I always like to err on the side of caution because I don't want to accidentally put out something that's not accurate. So like, that's maybe you guys know how to read this chart better than I do.
Well, all I see is $250,000 going to this charity. Which, by the way, like, on this website, if you click their EIN, I mean there's a lot of information.
Oh
there.
yeah, oh it's a ton of info.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and you can see the contributions and grants they received in, and I don't want to show this on screen, just because I don't want to get in trouble for potentially doxing or showing off an address or any sort of information. But
I mean, you can show off the initial screen where it shows like the EIN and the name, and then like the contributions that I was just talking about, like the landing page. But yeah, I wouldn't show off the info that you're looking at right now.
Right. Yeah, well, in 2022, so in 2023 they had $235,000 that were contributions and grants. In 2022, there was $539,000.
Holy.
Of contributions and grants.
Okay, so then the other cash contributions, that 235 isn't the total then. So like now I'm even a bit more confused.
And and you can see actually they have their total expenses here. Once again, I don't want to share this because I don't want to accidentally dox anybody. Mm-hmm. That's not what we're here to do. But it says for they have their total revenue. So in 2022 they generated $210,000. In 2023, they lost $154,000. So, you can see the money kind of where it's flowing through here. But the fact that
it's like since it's classified as a charity, like what was the charity for? Like, isn't she just paying like herself and like one or two other employees that she did all this nonsense with?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are 3 people listed on this form as directors for this, which, by the way, if you have a charity, 3 people need to be on a board for that. That's just how it happens when you start a charity. So Anita Sarkeesian is 1, Maile Martinez and Yavana Maya. They're listed as directors on this as well. So there's a lot of information here. This is crazy, actually, and it continues to go. I said I don't want to share it because I don't want to dox anybody, but it's just nuts. But the fact that there's like this, your money that you're paying into for these grants is going there. Oh
no, I agree. The tax dollars should absolutely be a huge fucking zero for sure. But I just wanted to ask about, because it says that only $6 in taxpayer money went to Feminist Frequency, and that is a far cry from like 235,000. So like that's why I mean maybe you know how to read the chart better than I do, but that's why I wanted to bring it up when we talked about this.
Sure. Well, I think it's totally fair. With that said, there are numbers here from 2019, 2020, 2021, all the way to 2023. Total gifts, grants, and contributions for Feminist Frequency, $1,446,638.
What the fuck?
Over the course of 5 years.
What the actual fuck?
$1.4 million. That's a pretty good living if you're making that every 5 years.
That is insane.
Yes, $1.4 million. Wow, that is shocking.
Charity money too, so
Yeah, like where? Man, I don't even get it. I don't even get it.
I saw some people saying like the amount doesn't matter, and like I do believe it does. I do believe it because I like being accurate, right? I'm not going to get angry over like $235,000 of taxpayer money if it's only 6. It should be 0. I'm not defending it, but like I care about accuracy personally, and I think it matters to be accurate.
Yes, I hear you. I definitely agree with that.
I mean, it's all completely bullshit, especially the amount that you just rattled off. Like 1.4 million over 5 years is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm. What's interesting, man, this is actually very interesting, that the address listed, once again, I don't want to share this publicly, but the address listed on this tax return just sends you to a mailbox place for a PO box.
That I can explain. I don't know if you've set up LLCs before.
Yes.
But when I incorporated for my like Twitch and YouTube stuff, like my LLC, I was able to pay for a like handler. They have an official name, but I can't remember what it's called. And so like the handler will just pick a random address that like exists, but it's not where your business is. Sometimes it can be a PO box that you get packages sent to. Sometimes it can be like an empty lot with like a tree in it that's in the middle of nowhere. So it's, you can obscure your personal information from your LLC by having a handler do all of that stuff for you.
Yes, I definitely understand that for sure. Having an agent to do that. Yeah, I totally get that. Blabs just found this as well, as far as interesting things where our tax dollars have gone to.
Actually, that was sent to us by Dragovus over on Twitter.
All right, thank you very much for that. Let's see where $150 million went in 1997.
Oh no.
Kirsche went to change society for the worse, as Pizza Hut got $150 million to renovate and modernize in 1997.
That's so upsetting because the old Pizza Hut aesthetic and the food was so much better after they modernized. Everything fucking sucked.
See what they did, and you paid for it. Congratulations! In 1997.
We played
what they took from you. Reclaim what they have stolen.
Oh, absolutely! Just very upsetting. Very upsetting that would be the thing. Oh my gosh, you should be upset. Normal man, you should be. I would be upset too. I am upset. I'm pissed.
They've destroyed our normal culture of Pizza Hut.
It's ridiculous. All right, let's go move on to this next part here, Kirsche, from you. But before we do, I want to get to a couple of these super chats. Guys, thank you again for your support. Lifting Gnome says, thinking back, I remember Duck Hunt being my first game. I spent many hours sucking at that game, and Mario Kart and Super Mario on the Super Nintendo. My friend had the N64 and DKC, and Ocarina of Time. Hell yeah. Great list of games right there. Vanish Mantle says, my first game was Legend of Zelda on the NES, thanks to my mom playing it while carrying me. In all honesty, that game that really defined me was Final Fantasy Tactics, where I got my online handle. Still game with my mom. There you go, Vanish Mantle.
Yeah, I got my name out of Xenosaga.
Gaming brings people together. Andrew says, a wise man once said, queering doesn't make the world work.
Andrew has nice hair.
Thank you, Andrew. Proctor came in with the 20, says, towards the Montez. The ones that started it all for me was Ghost House on the Sega card for Sega Master System and Golvius Valley of Doom. Get older, chat.
This man's an eldritch gamer.
Thank you, Proctor. Really appreciate that. Dirtus King says, to quote the great Athenian Admiral Lystander, says, you may not care about politics, but politics will care about you. Rest is unfortunate, something that only achieved in the grave.
Must be ever vigilant, unfortunately.
Marmalin says 8 million in 2024 from all departments in the federal government, meaning USAID, isn't the full nut. It's a ton of departments funding it, which is worse, in my opinion.
I love how like the Democrat politicians have been outing themselves. Like that one guy who like led a charge to a government building. I can't remember which one it was, but he was like, "Let's go, protesters! Let's go in the building and show them how much we need USAID." And it's like, are you kidding me? How many like people are actually believing that this wasn't just slush fund for politicians and their friends, man?
Right. It's been amazing to see. Like we use the analogy. I kind of came to the realization last night that this is more or less the Twitter files, just on a much larger scale.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone was like, "Oh, the Twitter files are crazy." It's like, yeah, this is your fucking government and your money. So like, you should be invested in what's happening. It's just a giant audit. Yeah. Lexicon Hellhound came and says, "Old guy comes." Games for me, the first 3D Zaxxon. Oh, nice. On ColecoVision. First FPS, Wolfenstein on PC. TIE Fighter on PC. First RTS, Dune Battle. For Aricus. I don't even know what Aricus is. Thanks so much.
Man. ColecoVision mentioned PTSD flashbacks to that TV show Code Monkeys. Oh, I loved watching that. It was so goofy.
That's a deep cut. That's a late or early 2000s cut right there. Nathan says, what I think is really shocking about the corruption is what they're really wasting on. Really? You embezzled money to try to convince Iraqi women that they are gay rather than a few dozen Mercedes? Right.
Well, because, convincing them that they're gay, that's cultural takeover, as it were. I was like, the amount of tweets of people who are like, I hope you're happy that we're no longer funding, condoms and AIDS in Africa. And it's like, yes, I am happy. Why would I care about what happens there? That's not my country. That's not my people. Fucking fuck off.
It's like, yes, I don't care if they wrap their Jimmy over, and it's like... Fluffy Shirt says, the first game I remember was Rome Total War. Always loved sending the flaming pigs against the elephants or war dogs. Thanks, Fluffy Shirt. Appreciate that. Girth says, just some normal innocent support for some normal innocent men. It's very ironic that the US AIDS was making things gay. Normally being gay results in AIDS. Everything backwards. We've graduated from clown world to bizarro world. Thank you, Girth. Delta came in and says, Kirsche, have you played Digimon World? That and Harvest Moon appealed to my ADHD addled brain. Character would say aura a lot with me back then. I also appreciate Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures Unintentionally.
One more thing. And I played Digimon World 1 and 2. I had to get revenge on my childhood since I could never beat them. I was not as smart as a Japanese child, unfortunately. I haven't played World 3 yet. And actually, I went to a panel where some YouTuber that I had never heard of before was giving a little expose on the Digimon games, and it made me really excited to play another one. We need Digi Genocide Sundays to come back on my channel, man. I was so fucking ready.
Digi, it's like Digi Genocide Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah.
Make a full intro for that. I like that. That's
hell
fun.
Yeah.
And Tenarian came in with a 20. He says, wish I'd known Lego would end up being such a luxury item. I used to have bucket loads of that stuff. I'd build entire cities and destroy them with Lego mechas and giant monsters. Let's go. It's the way they're supposed to be done. And then he followed up with another 10. Says, I bet Zoe Quinn regrets mass flagging Candace Owens' Kickstarter back in the day and thus radicalizing her. That's such a crazy rabbit hole. It's nuts. And also nuts is Cult of Personality coming in with the $99.99 super chat. Says could be
fucking shed.
Yeah, I'd say look at that. Sorry, I'm distracted for a second. Blabs, why don't you read that off for a second?
Even Kirsche is bouncing around over there. All right. Cult of Personality says could be indirection. USAID gives money to NGO. That NGO puts money under advisement in a fund. Don't have to disclose that the fund gives that money to Anita. Same thing as the government choosing to grant 501c3 status and then quietly underwrites costs. Paper trail hard as fuck to track then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It could just be them like doing what you said, like making roundabout donations so they don't have to report it as like tax dollars spent. But like I don't know how to read that chart, and I just wanted to make sure that I said something about like I don't know if it's $235,000 or not.
Right, and I hear you on that, and I appreciate that for sure. Thank you so much, Cult's Personality. That is outstanding, and we appreciate that greatly. Definitely not a gator says, I'm a simple man. I see Foxu donate Montez. Also, fun fact, part of the Domino's bailout was to provide them with cheese for the U.S. government underground cheese vaults. I wish I was joking. They are real.
Wait, Domino's was part of the underground cheese vaults? That's crazy. Is that why their cheese is so bad now? They gave the government all the good cheese to put in the vault?
What fucking world are we living in where we're talking about secret underground cheese?
Wait, have you not heard of the secret underground cheese?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh my god, the government to like increase cheese prices or some shit like started putting cheese in an underground vault, and now we just have like this big government facility filled with cheese.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's real. I'm not even being schizophrenic right now. I don't remember where it is, but you can like Google like government cheese vault, and you'll get the information.
Okay, all right, listen. Kirsche, I'm gonna just okay.
Wait a second.
hold on.
U.S. government currently stores 1.4 billion pounds of cheese.
Yeah. Instead of raiding Area 51, we should have been raiding the fucking cheese vaults, man.
You say "man" like a Jamaican. Have you noticed that?
I love it.
Oh, a bomba clot.
It's like Boston accent, then "mon."
Okay, Kirsche, I have a proposal for you.
Okay.
There's so much that you know that I do not. I'm suggesting a show entirely different from side scrollers, where you come on and you just educate me on the crazy ass shit that you know about government
education camp for Craig.
Right, Craig's re-education camp. I mean, I love this idea.
It comes with being terminally online, you know?
Yeah, I hear that.
Look, it's Ronald Reagan with a pound of cheese.
That looks AI.
What? This is from 1981.
No, that's
because his hand looks really weird.
It's from history.com.
He's got weird hand. He's got weird 1980s hand.
It's 1981 photo. It's real.
Weird 1980s hand.
Not gonna lie, I thought it was Vince McMahon for a second, but it's not.
Oh my god, I fucking love this show. I love everything about this fucking show. All right, we have an update, Kirsche, from you.
For me.
Why don't you guide us through what we're looking at here? We have this tweet from you. What's going on with this?
So Phil Holloway here posted a little screenshot from the USAID nonsense and showed that Thomson Reuters received like over $9 million in funding, and they received it for like large-scale social deception and social engineering. And of course, it's worded as like, oh, well, we're defending against large-scale social deception from other countries, right? But Thomson Reuters was featured in a Bridge Smart Brief in September last year, and they were promoting the Bridge initiative in one of their articles on their website. And also, the Reuters family, I did a little bit of digging. They're apparently like one of, if not the richest Canadian, like, I don't want to call them royalty, but like they're as close to that as you can get in Canada. And they are like an incredibly wealthy, incredibly well-known family, but little is actually known about them. Like, they're ridiculously secretive to the point where like their cleaning staff sign NDAs and refuse to talk to reporters about them. Like, they are crazy secretive, and that makes people even more curious about them. And I posted a lot of information about them and their connections back in September when they were featured in the Smart Brief. And so if you want to just like read the little paragraph here that basically gives you an idea of what they were writing about in the article, and then the second picture is just a little snippet from the article about what they're trying to like push.
And well, Reuters, if it's the Reuters that I'm thinking of, they're like a big information hub. They're like the AP, I would imagine. I think. Yeah. So there we go. Blabs, why don't you read this out loud in your wonderful reading voice?
Okay, how to usher the transformational change for ESG DEI. Can you actually make that a little bit bigger? Because on my end, it's kind of a small ass image.
No,
No.
small.
Zoom.
Right click, open a new tab.
Yeah. There we go. See that?
That did absolutely nothing. Thank you.
There we go.
Okay. Amid backlash against ESG and DEI efforts, companies need to adopt a transformational approach to these initiatives, integrating them into their core strategies, writers Nikki Gilmore of Evolved People.
I'm sorry, real quick. How fucking pompous do you have to be to name what your article, your outlet, Evolved People?
People who believe that they're on the right side of history. You know, it's like how polygamous people always cope with the you have to be a mature and elevated individual to handle a polygamous relationship. You know, it's not for everyone.
Evolved, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue, Blabs.
Quite wise. Okay, transformational change in many cases involves a cultural evolution and learning, and excellent managers are needed now more than ever to ensure that the cultural shifts stick and organizational resiliency is achieved for long-term success, Gilmore writes. Full story, Thomson Reuters, 9/8.
Yeah, the other one's just a different story. That one's not relevant.
Okay. Wow. So the transformation is real. And here we go. We got this from NPR as well. How corporate America got DEI wrong.
So these articles are from the newest Bridge Smart Brief that went out yesterday afternoon. So I haven't even read these articles yet. This is a first look before Tangent Friday, as it were.
Okay. Well, listen, they're always going to be evolving this thing, and you've been way ahead of everybody on this, Kirsche.
I've been right every single time, and I am so grateful that you guys have let me talk about Bridge here, because there's so many people who just kind of hand waved me off, and they were like, oh, Bridge is just another terminology, like they tried to do away with DEI and they renamed it. Like it's just another simple language motion. It's nothing new. It's nothing different. Don't pay attention to it. And so it's I'm very grateful that, you guys took me seriously and you guys got a lot of the information ahead of time because I was able to bring it here.
Hell yeah. Sorry. We're very serious on our show.
Is that about the cheese?
Hey, speaking of Blabs, I found another picture of Ronald Reagan with cheese.
You made it on Grok. It literally says Grok.
No, this is totally real. It's part of the picture from 1985.
That was actually real from 1981.
No, that is totally real. And then we have this picture. Look, there's more Ronald Reagan.
Wait, can you make Vince McMahon holding cheese instead?
Make Vince McMahon in an underground cheese vault.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Absolutely.
Also, why do these Grok images look more real than the 1980s image?
That's what I'm saying.
That last one.
It's crazy. Okay, well, while we get Vince McMahon, what's the prompt you want? You want Vince McMahon
in an underground cheese vault?
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I got it. All right, Blaz, why don't you read off this from Bantam? Let's go.
Okay, Bantam. Let me get his 50 for him. Boop. Okay. Now I don't even know where that one is. Hang on. I need to remove it, but Craig has it highlighted. Where is it, Craig? They can't see today's. Craig.
What?
He didn't.
I'm trying to generate AI imagery.
They get boobs again. I'm sorry, chat. Craig is retarded right now. Okay. Bantam says, "Hail, Craig, Blabs, and the Foxy Lady. The first video games I ever played in the days of yore were WWF Super WrestleMania, Street Fighter 2, and Super Mario World with the glorious Super Nintendo. I still keep this ancient relics in peak condition. Thank you very much, Bantam. And I like your avatar. That's cool. What the fuck is that, Craig?"
It's Vince McMahon in an underground cheese vault.
Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
He's so happy.
I want that one. I want this image.
I'll send it your way. And
wait. Can you make that your avatar on Twitter, Craig?
The crazy eyes.
No, I don't want to make these. This is like Chris Gore.
Oh my god, some of the noodles, man.
Yeah, man, that's some high quality cheese right there. That's pretty good right there. I'll just tweet these out for you, Kirsche, and you can take them as you see fit. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's great.
And people are gonna be like, "Why are you tweeting out 4 images of Vince McMahon in an underground cheese vault?"
Because why would I not? Why would I not? Listen. Yeah, I love every. Which one did you want? Did you want the one in the? I
want the one in the suit where he looks like an anchor man.
Okay, sounds good. You got it. I'll tweet that out right now.
Thank you.
You got it. Bantam, thank you so much for that. Let's go to Depths Walker here, Blabs.
All right. Government bailout dairy farmers during the crash. Other farmers saw dairy farms getting money. Switch to dairy, get money. Government doesn't stop money, but still buys cheese and needs to store. Hence, cheese vaults. Interesting. I didn't know anything about this. Where do you keep pulling these up? I can't remove them. Damn it. Where is it? I found it. Okay, here we go. It's because Craig is literally just picking randomly, and I'm like, I can't see where they are. Anyway.
Craig, how dare you?
Ronald says, "Great Thursday, just a simple Mexican man hearing the show while testing and having the lovely Foxy today. Cosa bella, cosa hermosa, and also from Montes," which, by the way, we hit the goal, so that's awesome. I'm like, that's a Mexican. That's a new goal, right? I think we hit that one again, which is not
Mexican man. Hello, my fellow white supremacists.
That's right. Sova says, "U.S. government bought lots of dairy."
Real quick, Blabs.
What?
Hold on, I'm on delay. Let me refresh.
Just
just stopped both of us, and then he died. Now he's gone.
No, quick! It wasn't very quick, was it? Salva says U.S. government bought lots of dairy after World War II, so we spent 40 years buying extra cheese. Reagan came into office and learned we were spending more than $1 million a day on refrigeration. The £1 billion now is what is left. Interesting. So wait a second, you telling me there's cheese that's like 40 years old? Because that I don't think is okay.
Well, it depends on what kind of cheese it is, right?
I mean, if it's aged, but I've never heard of 40-year-old cheese.
As long as it's not that weird, like Casa Marzu cheese from Italy, I try it, you know?
I don't know if I'd want to try 40-year-old cheese. I don't know how long.
Casa Marzu is the one that's like made with maggots.
Like the Parmigiano Reggiano's aged for like over a decade, and that's my favorite cheese ever. I can just eat that all day long. But
I would love to buy like a wheel of Parmesan.
I've done that. Well, not me, my parents, and then I held it, and it's like this giant ass
They're
wheel.
like thousands of dollars, though, aren't they?
Yeah, we got one from Italy.
Yeah, I want to buy one.
They're really great. Like it lasted like a good year or two.
I'm sorry. As I just tweeted that image out for Kirsche just a second ago, I noticed that on my timeline, tweeted 15 minutes ago that Blabs also felt the need to tweet something out. I'm sorry, Blabs, what does this have to do with our show right now?
Hey, how do you know I didn't schedule it out and it went live during the show, mister?
Because you don't schedule things for 12:31.
Yeah. Why not? I posted it. Caught in 4K, huh?
Yeah, in 4K. Way to keep your eyes on the show, Blabs.
What do you mean? Multitasking. I've gotten everything under control and I posted something.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what I tell my daughter. Be here with us.
I am. I understood everything you've said. I even brought up all negative cheese.
Well, I'm sorry, Blabs. Please fill us in. What are we? Why we felt so important? What is going on here?
It's a deer at Nara Park where they bow and everything, and this one looks like somebody's grandma doesn't have teeth anymore.
She's right. It does.
Well, thank you for sharing. And
why not?
So
well, I could have shared it today if you wanted. So there it is.
It's wonderful. Thank you for that, Blabs.
You're welcome.
All right. Darth Gavel says Elon Musk's top pinned comment on X 2 hours ago. Billions of taxpayer dollars to known fraudulent entities are still being approved by Treasury. This needs to stop now.
Didn't someone try to like block his employees at Doge from accessing the Treasury records as well?
I think there's been all sorts of things that have been trying to be blocked right now because they realize that they are in quicksand and they're trying to survive.
The gravy train is coming to an end and they are scared.
Mm-hmm. Dirtus King says on government cheese, when Prohibition happened, people got ice cream and dairy was booming. After World War II and the end of Prohibition, dairy farms were going to collapse, so the government bought in excess milk to make cheese. Interesting. He followed up, says Reagan saw we were spending billions on storing an excessive amount of cheese and wanted to nuke it. Popular will was against it, so it was given to the poor as government cheese. To stop this, the psyop of got milk was made.
Milk Pep is actually a bridge partner as well. Fun fact.
Wow. It's so deep. It's crazy. Kellen says, Kirsche, you and Savvy need a show. I agree. We're going to put you guys together. We're going to make
I love being on with Savvy.
Yeah, we need to make that happen. The two of you together could be an absolute powerhouse in undercovering bridge/DEI. You two are crazy and autistic enough to deep dive this stuff to the ends. We're gonna make that happen. We're gonna bring you two together. It's gonna be a side scrollers thing for sure. Bentley guy says, "I'm gonna say it since everyone is thinking it, but this Steam has been so cheesy." Hashtag Montez. Let's go. Speaking of Montez, where's he going? We have. You can choose between Mortal Kombat, the Moon, Dustborn, or the Mushroom Kingdom. Kirsche.
Let's see what happens when we go to Dustborn.
Okay.
Bitch!
You are racist.
I like the sound effect when she crushes the woman.
That's right. Wasp says the fat electrician did videos on how Got Milk was a psyop to afloat government cheese and how modern art was a CIA operation against the Soviet Union. These videos are mandatory watch.
True and real.
Okay, it sounds like we got another series on our hand. Zion came in, says my first was Dig Dug. Oh, that's nice on the TI 994. Blabs, you clearing things out over there?
Isn't that a calculator?
Yeah, that is. Then the original Atari, NES, Super Nintendo 64. Then friends got a PlayStation, so I got PlayStation 1 through 5. I'm probably getting the Switch 2. Need fun party games, plus Mario and Zelda.
I remember playing Drug Dealer Simulator on my TI 84. I think I had.
Drug Dealer Simulator.
Yeah, you got to sell like weed and cocaine and shit on your calculator. It's very necessary for school.
Kratos came in and says, I thought Vince McMahon's underground cheese vault was something disgusting that one hoe accused Vince of doing to her.
No, don't put me in the cheese vault.
Yes, Vince McMahon is here. Get to the cheese vault.
That's where the underground tunnels they found under Diddy's house went to.
That's funny. All right, then we got the RuneScape Herald says that through cheese vaults were made after World War II. The largest one is in Springfield, Missouri. Reagan wanted to give it out because it was costing so much. Watch the fat files. What a weird...
that photo was real.
Well, of course it was real. So is the picture of Vince McMahon in underground cheese vault that I made too. Marveland says we subsidized milk during 1950s, and to reserve it, we turned it to cheese. And during the 1990s, we started the Got Milk, government funded, to get rid of the cheese. Emperor Creatine says first console I ever owned was my older brother's SNES, Mario World, Ghost of Goblins, Star Fox, Magical Quest of Mickey Mouse, Batman Returns, UN Squadron, Super Metroid, and more. SNES is the GOAT. Tell me something I don't know, Emperor Creatine. Grohav says, I just hope the money found is spent on the U.S. people instead of financing a certain Middle Eastern country.
I agree. Like when Trump announced that he was like gonna buy Gaza, I was like, he took those like free Gaza and free Palestine signs a little bit too literally. I feel like this real estate mogul popping out for a second there. I don't know how much I like that though. Because it's a little weird.
I don't know enough about it, to talk about. I saw that was kind of crazy, but Pyro came and says, "Do the Kirsche.
Do not the woodland critter."
And Sean says, "My first was probably Super Mario World, but the game that shaped me was Lunar 2 External Blue for the PlayStation 1. It not only got me into JRPGs, but also anime. Hope the remaster doesn't censor anything." Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that greatly, Sean. Tenarian says, got some bridge people on here. Get some bridge people on here. Kirsche is going to take them out like nipple clamps before church, like she did with that Global VTuber Awards CEO. Also, I believe I'm over 50. Can I get a little pity jiggle? Blabs and Kirsche may partake too. Well, we have all sorts of things for that, and yes, you may absolutely have some jiggle. Where we at? Let's do some. You know what? We have
Poppy.
Oh, that's right. We do have Poppy. That's right.
This is Poppy, everybody.
Brand
That's
new.
not Poppy.
She definitely says Poppy.
Poppy is that lady who's like Mars Argo, makes very similar music.
There we go. And Jack the Outcast says, my mom got me into video games and her favorite was Pac-Man. My first game was Combat on the original Atari 2600. Plus, Craig with his geek glasses and haircut looks like Michael Douglas from the movie Falling Down. Yeah, my other skin. I don't know if you've seen, Kirsche, my other skin that I have with my hair and glasses that I've started to wear. It's been...
I didn't know that you were a skin suiter.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I've been it has been rejected vehemently by the audience. Said if you don't have your hat on, they don't want to see me. And Video Gamers,
I remember that.
Yes. Video Gamer says, fantastic, fabulous, festistic, facious, findom, Friday, Foxu. Always glad to see the most based and wonderful Foxu on side scrollers. Appreciate the work she's been doing to expose Bridge. Stay strong and vigilant, normal man. Thank you very much, Video Gamer. All right.
You're just normal men.
It's true. All right. We do I'm going to read every super chat over 10. We do have all the other super chats that were below 10. We have Screen Captain. Blabs has those. She's going to email those. I'll do a catch up on all those a little bit later on. Here's the catch up. See what it did. But we have Shady Duck coming in. Says the cheese thing reminds me of the government screw up with corn and ethanol. Ethanol was supposed to be the fuel of the future. Overproduced.
Should we tell him?
What?
You're underwater again.
Okay, well, then read.
Okay. The Shady Duck says, this cheese thing reminds me of the government screw up with the corn and ethanol. Ethanol was supposed to be fuel of the future, overproduced corn. Ethanol didn't work out. Now we have 10% in gas. Use it up. Thank you very much.
Like, well, we can just make the population eat the corn syrup.
Right. And then Scooter says, it's Shenano from Azure Lane. Oh, wait, it's the other pretty...
Oh, Blabs died. She's completely muted.
Now she muted herself.
No, I just had a power surge and changed my mic. Okay.
Oh my god.
Azure Lane. Oh, wait, it's the other pretty fox woman from the internet. Hey, Kirsche. Love you, buddy.
Oh, thank you, Scooter.
Yeah, we have cuts up.
All right.
I'm surprised you didn't segue after Crocodile Dundee into the cloud thing, honestly.
You know,
perfect segue time.
You're right. It was a perfect segue, but I wanted to make sure that we kept our show efficient today. So maybe we'll get in tomorrow about how Cloud is now apparently trans.
Yeah, you can't have fun anymore. Any sort of cross-dressing is automatically transgender.
No. All right. Fucking crazy world. All right. We there's a lot that we didn't get a chance to get to today, but we encourage you guys, if you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join us tomorrow when we're back at it again. We appreciate all y'all's support, all your super chats. I'll be doing some sort of square up a little bit later on. But just know we appreciate any and all support. It allows us to do this on a day-to-day basis and allows us to come to you guys Monday through Friday. Kirsche, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kirsche or on YouTube at KirscheVerstal or on Twitter at KirscheVerstal as well.
How do you like streaming on Kick? Or I'm sorry, on Twitch.
Well, I started on Twitch and then I started dual casting. Honestly, I think that everyone should dual cast, especially if you're a new streamer. You have literally nothing to lose by dual casting. I think the viewing experience is much better on YouTube than the Twitch player. But I think the chatting experience for both viewers and the streamer is vastly superior on Twitch. There's just so much more integrations. There's so much more functionality in Twitch chat than there is on YouTube chat. And it's just like, I don't ignore my YouTube chat, but it's so much easier to read Twitch because they have like highlights. Everyone has different colored names. Like the people can make their chat big. There's animated emotes. There's like specific highlights that are like beyond the regular highlight that make it like super colorful and just grab my attention. And it's just, there's so much better. So if you have a streamer that's a dual caster, I would highly suggest watching on YouTube, but popping out the Twitch chat and chatting there. It's just such a better experience for everyone.
Do you think that we're not on Twitch? I think Twitch was a shit platform, and I think they've made a lot of really,
sure.
But I think there is something valid to the idea of going into the lion's den a little bit. And
I think there's not really much to lose. Like if you just throw up another Twitch stream, right? Like it's just another audience that you can build. And I'm sure some people will like pop out the stream on YouTube and Twitch just to, bump you up initially when you're starting out.
Yeah. It's something we'll need to discuss.
Never again on Twitch.
I did. But like I said, I think there is something to the idea of kind of stepping into that lion's den. I really do. But
and I was actually going to ask you how you guys like streaming to Rumble, because recently I've had issues with Kick because Kick, for the last few months, like I had a Kick manager like reach out to me and be like, hey, we can get you like, your verification early since you already have a robust community elsewhere. Would you like to come and stream on Kick? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can try that out. But other like Kick staff have been coming into my stream and like force changing my category from like just chatting or the game that I'm playing to VTubers. And I said on my own stream, I was like, people aren't going to go and find a Minecraft stream or like an Azure Lane stream by going to the VTuber category and trying to find someone who just happens to be playing that game. They're going to go to the Minecraft category or the Azure Lane category. And so like my last stream on Kick a few days ago, My title was Kick Staff Don't Change My Category Challenge Impossible. And they still came to my chat and changed my category. And not only that, but they posted messages in my chat saying that they would appreciate it if I stayed in the correct category. And they even unpinned my sponsor posts to pin their post to my chat. And then they started spamming, like copy paste spamming about how I need to stay in the right category. So I ended my kick stream and I was like, I'm not going back there until I get a response from the manager in my DMs. Because like,
that is some,
this is absurd.
That's an overreach and like abuse of power.
Yeah, like the animism is real.
Wow, that person has little man syndrome.
Exactly.
Tiny wee-wees over there, apparently. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys and allowing us to be here. And hit the thumbs up button on your way out. We'll see you guys tomorrow when we're back at it again. Who's joining us tomorrow, Blabs?
Vera Dark.
Woo, Vera will be on. That'll be great.
Oh, she's a nice lady. She showed up in my stream the other day, too.
There's great for sure. So join us tomorrow when Vera is we got a lot to talk about, as always. With that said, guys, have a great rest of your day. Make sure you guys go check out Kirsche over on Twitch, over on YouTube, and maybe even over on Kick, which is great. Guys, have a great rest of your day. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.